Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to put some heating lamps inside of the chicken coop. And let me give you a quick tour for those of you that have not seen it. And I found something kind of interesting that chickens like to eat. So for those of you that haven't seen the chicken coop, this is it right here. It's just an 8x8 structure with a makeshift door. And let me show you the inside here in a second. But I have the door insulated with roughly 2 inches of some leftover foam that I had. And all I did was I got inside of the coop and I had somebody press in from the outside, and then I traced some of this foam to fit the door pretty nice and snug. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I just finished putting this wood on. This is some scrap wood that I had. I finished putting it up, halfway up the door, because I guess the chickens, look at this, they like to eat foam. They've got a completely full bin of food with all their treats in there as well, and they like to eat foam. I'm glad that they don't like to eat that reflective material up there, because there's no foam in it. It's just air. It's like Mylar with little air bubbles. So this is what the inside looks like. Take a look at the baskets. How do you like those baskets? Huh? My friend does the same thing, and he says they work great. And so far, so good, ladies and gentlemen. But this is the inside. Today, I'm going to probably bring in a wire, and then I'm going to hang some lights from the top somewhere around there. And but we'll see when we get here with the stuff that I have to go get at Lowe's. And there you go. This is what it looks like. Here's where their food hangs. More than likely, I'm probably going to end up putting their water bin hanging from here as well for the winter time. So we'll see how that works out. But yeah, this is the inside. For those of you that didn't see me do the floor has a rubber coating on it to make it waterproof. And on the floor as well, I used treated wood. And you can see that I put the rubber coating about 1 foot up from the floor. It's got a couple of little windows for cross ventilation in the summer that I'll be able to close in the winter. And of course, a little door that the chickens can go in and out of. Let's go take a look at the other side. This actually right here, this pipe is actually one of the vents from my leach field for my septic tank. But there is Poppy. Poppy looking after the birds, and there are the ladies. I'm never going to name them, but I do call the blonde ones, I call them blondies, like that one right there. That's a blondie, right? There's another blondie, and then I call the other ones brownies. And all together we've got 11 birds, well, 11 chickens, hens, and Poppy, 1 rooster. And this is where they hang out. And every once in a while, when I know that I'm going to be in the area for a couple of hours, I will open the door and let them out to forage. I'll probably do that later on today when I'm working on the lights so that they can get out and forage around. And I think I'm going to go ahead and leave this tarp on for the winter in hopes that it'll keep the snow out of there. I'll just have to make sure that I keep it nice and clear. And there, ladies and gentlemen, is the shed that my friend and I built. And as you can see there, for those of you that haven't seen it, I put a clear roof so that we wouldn't have to put any lights in it, because this is not going to be an insulated, or it's not an insulated shed. And I think that what I'm going to do next year is I'm going to build a little lean-to off of this side, and then I'm going to use that lean-to in order to store my snowblower, because look at how much room my snowblower takes up. That's about half of the room in there. So I think that if I take this snowblower out of here and just put it in a little lean-to here on the side, I'll be able to build some really nice shelves all the way up to the walls and be able to get the maximum use that I can out of the room in there. And as you can see, that there is my workbench, and I've got my generators stowed there under them and one of them on top, which is perfect because it gives me room to be able to bring the generators up there and service them whenever I need to. And there is my big Furman generator. That's the tri-fuel one. This thing is a monster, ladies and gentlemen. And even though they're like $300 more than what I paid for them a few years back, I think they're still worth the $8.99 or the $7.99 that they sell them for at Costco when they're on sale. This, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be one of the last days of this season where we can drive with our windows open. But look at how beautiful it is out today. We've been having a lot of rain lately, but we can also feel that the cold is creeping in. As you can see, all of the leaves are brown and the trees are getting ready to hibernate. Well, ladies and gentlemen, right now we are headed to either Lowe's or Home Depot. I want to go pick up a few supplies that I'm going to need for installing the heat lamps inside of the chicken coop, and also to get a few things that I used over the summer to restock up on these supplies. It's something that you ought to be thinking about doing right now. That way you can make sure you have the things you're going to need for next year, just in case they're not available or the price skyrockets. So I hope that you're enjoying the scenery. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to go to Home Depot instead of Lowe's. Usually I go to Lowe's first, but I remember checking for what I needed at Lowe's the last time and they didn't have it, or at least I couldn't find it. So we're going to go check out Home Depot. Spoiler alert, ladies and gentlemen, I ended up not recording inside of Home Depot because it was so darn busy that I just went and grabbed what I needed to grab and got out of there. Look at that, it's a sizzling 60 degrees today. It looks like everyone's down here getting their wood pellets for the winter. People that have wood pellet stoves. These are all wood pellets right here. And we actually have a wood pellet making factory in North Pole, which is not that far from Fairbanks. So that's probably going to be an option for us to have a wood pellet stove in the future, because even if it hits the fan, ladies and gentlemen, there's enough demand here for wood pellets that I'm assuming that that company would not go out of business, and there's plenty of trees here to harvest to make wood pellets. So here I'm getting ready to put the heat lamps inside of the coop, and guess what I find? Look at this. Look. 3 tiny eggs. They're not laying them in the boxes where they're supposed to. I don't see any in the boxes, but look. 3 tiny eggs. They almost look like quail eggs. My first 3 eggs. Here's the other one. And then here's the third one. We got 3 eggs right here. That's awesome. And they didn't eat them or anything. We're going to have to see what they look like inside. I'm going to go crack these open and see if I can cook them right away. So anyways, that was a great surprise. It's obvious that you've probably already realized it's not the same day that it was when I started on this journey. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and show you. I'm going to go ahead and show you all some of the things that I got from Lowe's and Home Depot, that you need to get these things now because the prices are out of control. But let me finish wiring this up so that I can put the heat lamps in here, because today it's going to hit a low of like 36 degrees Fahrenheit, and I want to make sure that the ladies are comfortable. And then we'll go over the things that I purchased, and then I'll show you how everything comes out in here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the chickens are complaining that I'm taking too long inside of their coop, all right? So you probably didn't hear Poppy, but he was going nuts here just a minute ago before I turned the camera on. So let me show you what I did. Remember that I'm all about utility. Don't really care how it looks. So this is the extension cord coming in. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is only going to be drawing, at the very most, it will be drawing 300 watts. That's at the very most. And then what I did was, and then I just brought it up the wall. I went ahead and left a little slack there because more than likely I'm going to go ahead and put that on a timer. And then as you can see, I went ahead and attached it to the ceiling in several spots, just in case one of these fails, that this won't fall to the floor. I even attached that with the ceiling as well. So it's pretty secure on there. I'm pretty comfortable that it's not going to go anywhere. This one right here is going to be putting out 200 watts. So it's 200 watts. If I feel that I need anything more than this, I'll go ahead and put another one of these lamps on that I got and put another 100 or 200 watts. So that should be plenty. My buddy Matt, the one that got me the chickens and fostered them for a couple of months or a few months, his coop is almost twice as big as mine is, and he heats his coop in the winter with a 100 watt light bulb. So I'm thinking that this 200 watt is going to be more than enough. So all I have to do now is just get a timer for it, set it on a timer, and hopefully we'll keep getting some good eggs. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to go over some of the things that I purchased here at the end of this, what I like to call the building season, meaning that we are now focused on getting ready for winter, tidying everything down, putting it away, because winter is coming, and it's coming in a hurry. I wanted to show you some of these things that I get extra of every year, especially if I use them during the building season, because you just never know how much they're going to cost the following year and if they're even going to be available. Now, I didn't purchase any of this last year, meaning this building season, but I purchased it about 2 years ago, and it was probably less than half of the price of what they're charging for it now. And that's this Visqueen. This is a 10-foot by 100-foot roll of 4 mil plastic, ladies and gentlemen. I paid $80 for that. Sounds like a good deal if you look around now and see what the prices are. But I remember a couple of years ago paying for the 6 mil, which is 50% stronger than the 4 mil, 100 feet by 20 feet, not 100 feet by 10 feet, but 100 foot by 20 foot, paying around the same price for this. Now, that same roll of 6 mil plastic, that's 20 feet by 100 foot, is about $179. Well, I went ahead and got this, not because I need it for any particular reason, but because I know that it's nice to have just in case. So get this stuff now. I don't see these kinds of things like plastic. Anything that's made with plastic is made with what? Oil, ladies and gentlemen. I don't see oil going down in the near future, and I only see things like this going to be more expensive as the years go by. Not only because of the commodity price of oil, but also because of the price of labor, the price of shipping, the price of fuel, etc. Again, just clear painter's plastic. Stock up on this now. Do you all remember when you used to be able to get like 2 of these little rolls? These are the little cheapo rolls, right? When you used to be able to get like 2 of these for like $1 at the dollar store. Well, now 5 rolls. I bought a pack of 5, I believe. 6. This is a pack of 6. Now 6 rolls is $14 and change, almost 15 bucks. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not going back to the way that it used to be. This is another thing that you really want to stock up on. And you never know when you're going to need a nice big roll of plastic. Who knows? Maybe after the apocalypse, you might need to get rid of some 2-legged creatures. Just kidding, ladies and gentlemen. I do not advocate violence unless you need to use it to protect yourself or your family or your property. Second Amendment, hooah. If you're going to need 1, get 2, get 3. But guess what? 27 is better. In this case, I just got some more face plates. Every once in a while, one of these breaks. Every once in a while, you have a new project that you're working on when you need it. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? These are still inexpensive. These were like $5 or so for 10 of them. So they come out to like 48 cents or so each. It was like $4.80, something like that, for 10 of them. So I got me a couple of these because we're always using this for one reason or another. And these would make a great barter item too. Just think about it. With the plate, I went ahead and got me a couple of boxes of these outlets. These are just your garden variety 15 amp outlets, which are good to about 1800 watts. Got me a couple of these because again, they're still cheap and I'm only down to like 2 or 3 in my stockpile. Same thing with your regular standard switches. Now, if you are the type that knows how to do electrical and knows how to work with like 3-way switches as well, hey, get yourself some 3-way switches, but these are just regular standard switches. Got me a box of 10. Again, you just never know when we're going to need some of these. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, if you see that you're going to need it in the future, go ahead and get them now. And if you think you're going to need 1, get 2 or more. It can never hurt, especially now. While these things are pretty inexpensive, I would say. Not compared to 2 years ago. They're not inexpensive compared to 2 years ago, but they're still pretty inexpensive, meaning that you can get them and it's not going to break the bank. These are just light bulb holders that you can use to put up a light anywhere, right? Very easy to actually do if you need to put up a light somewhere. So I figure I get me a few. I think I got me like 4 of these. I got me a couple of the ones that come with a pull string, and I got a couple of the ones that you need to use a switch with. When China finally cuts this off, and I believe that one day they will, these kinds of things are going to be invaluable. That's why if you see my previous videos on my hardware store that I'm building, I like to add a little bit of this every once in a while, especially if they're on sale or on clearance. I love to add this stuff to my little hardware store because I know for a fact that this is not going to go to waste. Either I'm going to use it in the future, and you know what? I actually do need to use this. I still have to put the door on my shed. So like I was saying, I'm either going to use this in the future or I'll be able to barter it away with someone because someone will need one of these eventually. And again, I'll go ahead and repeat it. If you need one, make sure you get 2. This is the second lamp that I got for the chicken coop. So I went ahead and got a second one just in case I needed more heat, but also just in case something happened to the first. Also, in the electrical side, ladies and gentlemen, when you really need these and you can't find them, you'll be like, man, why didn't I stock up on those? I've been in that situation before, so I made sure to go ahead and pick some of these up, and these have gone up in price like crazy. But still, the way I see it is, what would it take for me to make one of these, all right? And would I rather just pay for it than try to make one myself? Obviously, I'd rather just pay for it if I can instead of trying to manufacture whatever I need of these myself, all right? I picked up a couple of these 1-pound refillable propane canisters from Flame King on Amazon. I got quite a few of these gifted to me from Billy and D from Frontier Preppers in the past, but I noticed that Amazon has some of these on stock, so I went ahead and grabbed me an extra couple, and they are incredible how much more they are than what they used to be on regular price. So I'm very lucky that I've got a good friend who hooked me up with some, and I went ahead and picked up a couple more. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's about all that I have to show you as far as things that I think are going to go up in price immensely in the future, and that have gone up in price since the last time that I've told you that things were going to go up in price. So get them now while you can, because it's not the nominal dollar amount that really matters. It's the time that it takes you to earn those dollars that really matters. Inflation steals from you, not dollars, but the time that it's taken you to earn those dollars. Ladies and gentlemen, if everyone understood this, we'd probably live in a different world today. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you had a little bit of fun with this video. Not too much prepping involved, but just a little bit of fun showing you what I do here and there. And we finally got our first eggs. I'm so excited about that. Let me know what I need to do to teach them to start laying eggs in the baskets. I'm going to go ahead and order me some fake eggs and put them in the baskets and see if they get up there and lay them in there. But so far, so good. I have to go cook those eggs and see if they're any good. I don't know how long they've been there because it's probably been about 3 or 4 days since I've been inside the chicken coop. So they may be 3 or 4 days old, which should be okay. Having said that, let me stop talking. If not, I'll keep on forever. You all know me, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great day. God bless every one of you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for all of your support. I'm Alaska Prepper. God bless America, and I am out.